Well, working on the 710 here, working on the knotter. As I got a book here in front of me, or actually there's about 10 books in here. My uncle got these books for me. Nice of him to do that. I got this particular book. It's setting up and operating instructions for a 62T and 62W, which is for wire, twine and wire balers. There's some owner's manuals in here for older balers, like the Model 8. And then there's the 50. And then there's an 18 baler. And then you get in the back, here's several things, parts books and whatnot on the older balers and the newer balers. And there's a 520 parts catalog. What else we got here? A 620 baler parts catalog and a 720 parts catalog. And that 720, I did find out I got a spec sheet on it, and the only difference between it and the 710, the pickup's different. And the 710 has a 81 strokes per minute on a 24-inch stroke, and the 720 baler has 81 strokes per minute on a 28-inch stroke, so a little longer stroke and different pickup. But for everything else on the baler, I'd have a parts book for, so that was good. But this 62T book has got a lot of good information on setting up and adjusting this knotter. And other than just a few very minor changes, it's the same knotter that's on this baler. So I think the only visible difference was that there's 8 gear teeth on this gear here, and this worm gear is a little tighter, close together, and it's only 6 teeth here, and that worm gear is farther apart on the 62 series. But anyway, a lot of guys had some good ideas on stuff, and the more I thought about it, right when I was making that other video, One Lonely Farmer had a knotter video up, had some good information, just kind of tune up the knotter. And one thing I'd noticed the other day when we were baling, and I was piddling with it here, and he mentioned in that video that these bill hook, or the wiper arm with the knife on it, needs to actually rub the back of that bill hook, and it was not doing that. And get it to where it just about, it hangs up. It needs to get polished up a little bit, but it just hangs up there. Oh, I did it. I'm not supposed to let those drop down, because then they get caught in the twine dogs. But come on. Act like a goof here. Most of the time when I'm making a video, I know pretty well what I'm talking about, but I probably sound like a goof in this video because I don't know much about knotters. Come on, there we go. These are good finger pinchers too. But anyway, that arm comes across there, and it's supposed to just graze that bill hook, and I could go about adjusting it, and me and Grandpa couldn't believe it, but you just take a hammer and you hit that thing, you put it clear over like that, and just hit that thing right there, and it'll actually bend that cast, I guess, to where it'll just graze the back of that bill hook. And I did it on both the knotters were too loose, and so they weren't even touching the bill hook, and so I did that, and now they're touching them pretty good. But they're not touching them real good, but it's just a little tight. I might have them a little on the tight side, but I don't know. One Lonely Farmer had said you don't want to, it doesn't need to hold the knotter up. It shouldn't be tight enough, but Josh Timer had sent me some good information out of his John Deere baler book, but all the same stuff on the knotter, and he said his will hold the knotter up. So I'm going to try it here and just see what happens. So thanks for that too, Josh. That information you'd sent me. But let's see what else. So we're gonna try that. I'm gonna try, since I was having trouble with the needles, or I was on this left side. I'm pretty sure that's gonna fix the problem on the right side. On the left side, every now and then, you go up and tie the knot, but then the string would fall out of the hole in the needle there, and I couldn't figure out how the heck that was happening. So, and some guy said my twine tension was too loose coming out of the box, so I tightened up that, because they had been running regular twine in it. Now I got the plastic twine, and so I tightened them down some. I might tighten them down a little more depending how I feel. But then there's a couple more adjustments on, you undo that pin and run the needles up in there and where they should be in relation to the twine discs and everything else, so it grabs the twine just right. And so I'm going to probably do that and make sure they're sitting in the knotter how they need to be when they get pulled up in there. So do that and see what happens. Oh, one other thing I thought I'd show you while I got this other knotter up. Some guys were also saying the twine dog's here, and I just wanted to show you where I had them adjusted. I got them set to where they're pretty far back here. You know, there's no place for the twine to catch on them. Because that was the problem originally. The spring here was missing, and it would, and they were just stuck over blocking the twine. So they got some play in them, but I think they're all right. I got them adjusted back far enough, so to where they wouldn't ever be an issue when the twine's coming up. So I'm gonna have to, once I get the needles up in here, I think probably with these two things that'll probably fix it, but we'll see. Alright, well, I checked the needles as I go up through, and per the book, if I get going and it still isn't tying or it's still having trouble, the needles could stood to be, or move the whole needle frame, take some shims out here and on the other side and move the whole needle frame this way just a little bit, because both needles could stand to go this way according to the book, just a skosh. But it still don't have any trouble getting the twine lined up in the twine discs, so I think I'm going to try it here and hopefully it'll work. If not, I'll have to move that needle frame over a little bit. But hopefully I didn't sound too dumb talking about the knotter, but I think that's what my problem was, at least from the research and whatnot I've done on it and what people have been telling me, is those wiper arms got to be touching those bill hooks. And so I think the twine was just getting in between the bill hook and the wiper arm, and it wasn't pushing it off. So, and here's for Jeff Raymond, here's your 880 shift knobs. He sent me some 880 shift knobs, awful nice of him. I drilled them out and to the correct size that they need to be for these handles, 5/8 coarse thread, and threaded them and screwed them on there. Now I got two matching knobs. It was missing one knob, and so put two matching ones on there. Went down and seen Jeff for his birthday there Saturday, and today's the 3rd, and had a nice long visit with him there, and had a cookout there Saturday evening on the 1st at his place. That was a lot of fun going down and visiting with Jeff, and probably plan on doing it again. So, and tomorrow being the 4th of July, and say happy 4th of July to everybody. And thanks to all the people that have made that possible, that have built this, or defended this great country, all the veterans and whatnot. Wanted to say thanks to all of them for everything they do, because I know we couldn't enjoy all the freedoms we do without them. And so I always like to thank a veteran if I get the chance to, and if you happen to see one this 4th of July, thank him for serving and giving us the freedom to have all the luxuries we have in this country. So take that for granted too much. But I better start getting this cleaned up. I gotta add some hydraulic oil there to the 525, and actually I'll just run you down here real quick and we'll go look at the oats, and maybe try to cut the oats later in the week too. I don't know, we'll just see what the forecast does. So And here's the oats out here. This is the worst spot in the field. They had water standing here on them for a little while. But the rest of the field looks really good. Cracks you can drop your cell phone into. So freaking dry out here. We still got a little green on the stems by the later part of the week. By the time I'd have a chance to get up here and cut them, it'll probably be dry enough to cut. The seeds are definitely dry. I'm anxious to see how they do. There still. But the outside row's a little shorter because of the trees, but especially after you get off the first 30 foot here, so it starts looking real good, a little taller. There's a lot of straw out here depending on how short I cut it. A lot better than last year. That trouble, they all blew down last year, so but this year they're really taking off and going. I don't know much about oats, so them are hard. Not taller than the rest of them there, but I'm pleased with the way the field looks. So, well, that'll do it here for the nodder, 4th of July, and the oats. Thanks for watching.